Welcome, everybody, to Tables, Ladders, and Bumps, a podcast about wrestling. My name is Marlon. I'm joined here by Wade and Pierre. We're going to talk about the Raw review. We're going to talk about the 3 count, and we got a no-hate, just debate for later regarding a wrestling topic, a wrestling subject. If you guys like what you hear, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe. You get all our updates on social media. We're on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Find us. And let's chat, leave some comments. Let's do this thing. All right, let's get
Tinder,
into the Raw. What was that?
Tinder. You
Tinder,
said Tinder.
Bumble.
Tinder,
I'm on
Bumble.
Hinge. Oh, you're
Grinder.
talking about our
Mingle.
Kristen TV.
our group thing. Yeah. Those ones. Sorry, my bad.
Black Planet.
I
I saw Thomas on Black Planet.
was on Black People Meet for a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not
All right, let's
lying.
get it.
Gotta start off the podcast hot though.
Oh man, who want to kick it off? Who want to kick it off? I can't. You got to follow up with Thomas being on Black People Meet. Did you meet any Black people on Black People Meet?
Nah, I didn't end up meeting with anyone. It was not as good of a website as I expected based on, they had all the ads online and on TV shows, so I expected it to be a good app, and it was pretty poorly run and not a ton of super hot girls on there. So, yeah, I had to switch back to the other apps, but yeah, I was a little disappointed. I thought, man, I'll probably be the only white guy in here. So I thought I'd be able to use my strategy in DC where if I went to a black club, I'd be like 5% of these girls like white guys, and I'm the only white guy. So all those girls will like me. And
Yeah.
but yeah, the app was terrible. Maybe it's been updated since then. I apologize if the person who made the app is watching this podcast, but back 10 years ago, your app kind of sucked, and I hope it's improved. But
Talk to him.
Circle back around. You got to spin the block. You got to spin the block again on the app.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll check it out. I'll let you guys know next week
Black
what I've
people.
had.
That is awesome. All right, let's get into the Raw review. I'll start then, because man,
Okay.
I was so pumped to watch that main event match between Ron Breaker and Sami Zayn. 2 out of 3 falls. Wait, best of 5
Yeah.
falls? Yeah, 2 out of
No,
3. 2 out of 3. Holy smokes. Man, we talk about Braun Breaker a lot on this podcast, and rightfully so, right?
Mm-hmm.
His ability and his talent, every match has just gotten better and better, I think. Although what was the PLE where he first fought Sammy? Money in the Bank?
Clash? No, Money in the Bank. Yeah.
Money in the Bank was just okay. Honestly, it wasn't his best match, but dude, he's been showing out every time he's on Monday Night Raw. And last night's match with Sammy with 2 out of 3 falls, out, like, Wade, you mentioned how much time are they going to have for these guys to wrestle, because Sammy had won the first fall and there was only like 7 minutes left, but they still were able to execute. My favorite spot, and maybe you guys could elaborate on this, was I actually had two spots. One where Sammy tried to jump over Braun when Braun was running the ropes, and Braun caught him in the air and spine busted his ass. Then the second one was when Sammy did the moonsault off the barrier. Yeah. Braun caught him in the power slam position, ran him, and it was like the Olympics track and field when he freaking javelined his ass into the timekeeper's corner. That was wild. Let me know what do you guys think about the match so far.
Well, I mean, that's like one of the coolest spots I've seen all year, because he like landed into the chair, but there's so many ways you could get hurt doing that. And it's just like you see the chair kind of roll too and slam in. It was just, everything about it was amazing. That was by far their best match. I actually think I think almost all of Braun's worst matches since he's been on the main roster have been with Sammy. I felt like they did not have good chemistry or something was kind of missing.
Yeah.
Even in the last PLE, the match was fine, I guess,
Fine.
but I
Yeah.
felt like it was the worst match on the card,
Mm-hmm.
probably. And this was really, really good. I'm not gonna go that far, but it was a really good TV match. I was gonna say one of the best TV matches, but it's not of the year, but it's not to that level. It was really good though, and towards the top tier of TV matches, I think this year, especially on Raw. And yeah, I was impressed, especially when I saw they start. I think they only gave them 15 minutes, maybe
Mm-hmm.
15,
Yep.
16 minutes. So I got kind of worried with what they were gonna do. And when Sammy got that pin and there was only 7 minutes left, I thought there was gonna be something weird that happened, but I was I honestly thought Sammy was gonna beat him at least once or twice, and I thought this is the dumbest booking decision ever when I thought he was gonna win. But yeah, what'd you think, Pierre?
No, man, like same right in that spot, like the javelin throw with Sammy was insane. It almost reminded me of when Kevin Nash had caught Rey Mysterio and threw him into the trailer,
That's right. That's right.
but almost like but 10 times better though. You
Yeah.
you know, um, Brian Breaker is just a freak of nature, man. Like the Frankensteiner. I mean, every time I see it, it's just better.
Yeah.
He doesn't disappoint, and I could see like for me on the main roster, I've only seen him really perform on the main roster. So it's been a bunch of matches with him and Dragunov, which have been fire every time he had wrestled against him. The match against Ricochet, a couple of against him that was cool. Um, these were solid matches too as well. I don't really have too many gripes about it. I enjoyed them. It was very entertaining. I knew he was gonna win. Now the way they looked like they were spent at the end, but it was still a dominant fashion where he still kind of like won to me, and it sets it up to like, yo, who can stop Brian Breaker,
Right.
on the main roster right now? Like I like this for him, like they keep mentioning how he's the youngest. What the time he's been on the main roster or just being wrestling 3 years, he already then won a championship, any kind of championship already, on the main roster. So it's like, yo, like that's dope. Um, I want to see them. I want them allow him to talk even more because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I get glimpses of Scott Steiner when he talks, So I want to hear more, see more of that, and hear more of that from him. But yeah, man, like I'm Team Brian Breaker, man, all the way.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. And now that he's established as the IC title holder, I'm curious to know who's gonna one step up and two, how long his reign is gonna be.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see if he's just gonna bulldoze through the whole roster, or if anybody even from SmackDown is gonna step up to him. So I feel like it would be interesting to see like how long he runs with it.
Jay
He's
Uso is
still
gonna
young.
beat
He's
him.
still young in his career. So
Bro,
what was
I
that?
swear to
Jay
God.
Uso is gonna beat him. It's gonna be Jay Uso to beat Brian Breaker.
I mean,
I'd
there's
be
a couple of
fine with.
people.
There's one person I'm cool with right now.
Kaiser,
Actually, yeah. Oh, there's a few people I'm cool with now that you said Kaiser. Kaiser, I'd be cool with.
Pete Dunne,
No.
Gable.
Uh, Gable,
Gable,
Ilya.
Ilya.
I'd be fine with Big Bronson Reed now too.
That'd be cool. That'd be sweet. What about Baron Corbin?
They're on different rosters, so unfortunately, I don't have to comment on that one.
All right, cool. Let us know what you think about the whole Braun Breaker title win, his win over Sami Zayn. How long is it going to be IC, and who on the roster is going to step up next to go for that Intercontinental Championship? All right, who wants
Let
to
me
go next with the Raw review?
I'll go since
All right,
Wayne had mentioned about Bronson Reed. So that is my topic for the Raw review is Bronson Reed. Um, I always kind of favorite dude. Like I always feel like something was missing from him in the beginning, right? And he'd come on the main he was on the main roster and he'll do a little bit, and then they would be like, then he'll disappear. Then he'll come back and I feel like he'll do a little bit and then he'll disappear again. And then I was kind of bummed that he didn't get to wrestle at Elimination Chamber, but he had a good reason. He had his kid was born, so I'm like, all right, that's cool. But now that he's in this position,
Oh man, he was spitting too
You're
much
freezing.
fire about Bronson Reed and froze up.
His bandwidth got tsunami.
So while
Let me
he's
text him.
frozen,
Go for
I
it.
guess yeah, I will. I was not as into Bronson Reed as Pierre has been. I and I think I had said this last week. I've kind of felt like anytime he gets involved in a feud, he's the extra person in a feud, and it just kind of annoys me that he's
Right. Me
involved.
too.
That being said, his matches have been pretty sick when he is involved in a feud, like in a triple threat or something like that. There's something about him that's endearing and also not the most likable at the same time. I cannot figure out what it is,
Hmm.
but I feel like they've gotten his character kind of down
Right.
because he's not as Pierre, you froze out, so I'm just kind of talking about Bronson Reed and why I was not the biggest fan of him before.
okay,
Uh, but I do feel so. What they're trying to do with him, and I bring up this person all the time because I feel like they've done this in the best way, is Nia Jax. Nia
yeah,
Jax is the
yeah, I thought you
big,
were gonna say her, yeah.
scary person that they bring in. She just kicks ass. Is she the fastest person? No. But she's got a lot of size and power. And they book her like someone that's scary. The issue with Bronson Reed versus Nia Jax is taller than everyone, too. And it legitimately looks kind of frightening if you're one of those girls to go up against her. Whereas Bronson Reed, he's built a 6 feet tall. He's probably 5'8", 5'9", I think. He ain't that tall. Because I've seen pictures of kids next to him, and he's not that big. So he's shorter, especially for how he's basically a ball. So you have to find something that makes him super scary, and it's not like he's Braun Breaker who could spear someone super hard like
Hmm.
that. He's not super fast. He's kind of strong, I guess. But doing this is they found their way to get him in and
Yeah.
make him a force, which I didn't think was possible. I just thought he'd be a mid carder forever, and you need people like him to kind of heat up. Oh, okay, he's won some matches. He could squish you like a bug if he lands a tsunami, and then you go on with your day. But I don't know. I feel like he's like he could be a main, not a real main eventer, but maybe like a main event, like in the way Jey Uso's main event Jey Uso by
Hmm.
title only, not in reality. So
No, because I was saying like I like what they're doing with him now. Like you was kind of say, like they feel like he actually has purpose and
mhm.
actual position on the roster. Besides just being a body before. They put him in an IC title match with Gable and Sammy, and he seemed out of place at the time. It was like he wasn't needed to even be there. It seemed like he was just there to protect the other two guys from getting pinned. So now when you see him and he comes out and he squishes Seth Rollins 6 times, and he squishes R-Truth. Not as a bigger name as Seth Rollins, but still equally, I feel like the impact is still equally as felt. Um, and I was like, all right, so what's next for Bronson Reed after this? The same question I have with Brian Breaker. I don't think, yeah, he's gonna go in a title hunt against Brian Breaker right now because I mean, maybe one dude might be a situational face, Brian Breaker in this case, but I'm loving what they're able to try to establish with Bronson Reed. I'm not a fan of the spikes in the Hedgehog spikes in the back, but still, like everything's still real. cool with him. Like I like that he's kind of just doing what he wants to do, creating his own path of destruction,
Mhm.
and where he sees fit. Like, so how do you like? What do you guys think about the future for Bronson Reed based off the last 2 weeks we've seen with him?
I hope he continues to go on this tirade. It kind of reminds me of when Braun Breaker felt like he was ignored and put to the side by Adam Pearce. Maybe it
Mm.
takes what it takes for you to rise is being ignored by Adam Pearce. Maybe that's the formula. So I hope he just continues to do it to more and more like likable stars.
Hmm.
Because people love Seth Rollins, right? People love Miz and R-Truth. So I hope he takes all the fan favorites and continues to squash them. Literally, I want to see it.
I I want to see him move to SmackDown, and I think when they did the draft, I had kind of mentioned this before.
Hmm.
I actually did. I'm fairly certain I said he should have been gone to SmackDown because he's already gone and done the things over on Raw, and we've seen
Mhm.
him go against those people. And I wanted him to kind of move over like Nia Jax and like how they used to do with the territories. You got the big bad, have them beat some people. Eventually, they're gonna have to lose. Once they lose, you bring them over to the other another territory, and you start the process all over again. He's got a lot of stuff to do over here on Raw, though, so
Mm.
I'll stand corrected. But I just feel like Cody needs more people. LA Knight needs more people.
Mhm.
Because who is LA Knight gonna go against? He has a match, right?
Yeah, I think they're trying to build him against Santos Escobar,
Santos.
and I
I
mean
mean,
he's
all
already did it
right.
already. You know,
He's already beaten him like 5 times.
yeah,
I like to see
and then
LA Knight with the Bronson Reed. Actually, that could be kind of cool.
yeah,
That'd be rad.
Although the promos with Santos and Bronson Reed or Santos
LA
and
Knight.
LA Knight are probably be a lot better than Bronson Reed. I don't know. I'd like to see Bronson Reed get a chance. Let's give him a shot at IC and have him do pro. Have
Mhm.
we really seen him do promos that much? Not really.
Not in the ring.
No, not
He'll
really.
say
No.
2, 3 sentences behind, like backstage, telling somebody's going to beat him up, and then
Yeah,
he
that's it.
randomly is involved and does a tsunami. That's been his character for two
Mhm.
years
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
So I'm cool with. I don't. I don't feel like Braun Breaker needs to have this belt forever. I'm
Mhm.
cool with him having it for 6 months, maybe,
Yeah.
and then you have him lose to someone. But same with LA Knight. With I think Bronson Reed's a mid card title guy, and you can
yeah,
heat him up once in a while. It's not really good for Gunther because Gunther's the best heel they have
yeah.
right now. So, like,
But
I
it
don't
would have
think
been a
he.
good maybe Bronson Reed versus Damian Priest before Gunther. That I could have seen that. At one point.
Yeah, I don't. I'm curious with how that match would have looked. It could have been cool. Priest could have done cool stuff to him, and it would have been. Priest would have looked badass because Priest would have done stuff to him that looks impressive because of how big and
Yeah,
stuff he looks. It wouldn't have been as exciting as like Priest and Gunther, where both of them can do kind of athletic things.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, that actually could have been a cool match. I don't know. Let's see where it goes. I was out on him as
Me too.
someone other than I'm fine with him winning a belt at this point.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I'm not unless like when Gunther had the IC title, ain't no way in hell I would have been cool with Bronson Reed taking it off of him. But
Mhm.
even at this point, I would have been annoyed if that was the
Yeah.
person that won. I'm still kind
Mhm.
of annoyed Sammy was the one that took it off of him. But yeah, I don't mind him beating Braun Breaker in a few months.
Yeah.
So real quick before we move on, um, speaking about the IC title, when do you guys see, or if it ever does happen, Chad Gable get the IC title, or does he get the world title at some point, and not the IC title?
He needs a title.
Yeah.
now that they brought Ivy Nile into the thing, and I feel like her debut was pretty good.
Hmm.
I think it's looking better for Chad. They're still having him do promos, and he's one of the main characters on Raw. So
Yeah.
I don't. You could heat Chad Gable up at any point and make him
Mhm.
win a belt, and people will believe it because he can wrestle so well, and
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
better at acting than virtually everyone on the roster. So, uh,
Like a time frame, would you think?
I say 6 months.
6 months? Probably put us at like the Rumble? No. Maybe a little after the Rumble, Elimination Chamber?
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber, I could see him winning.
Yeah.
He's a perfect person to win Elimination Chamber, to be
Mhm.
Hmm.
honest. You have him going through and just suplexing everyone into you have him suplexing someone into the glass, or imagine him suplexing Bronson Reed through the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has he done that before in an Elimination Chamber and I forgot? I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
There's so many cool things you could do. Him doing a moonsault off the top, like he could do everything, like the master mix of everything cool that anyone has done in the Elimination Chamber, and he's a person that could do all
They
of
can do
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think he's the perfect person for Elimination Chamber more than the Rumble. I don't think he's a
Hmm.
believable Rumble person, but Elimination Chamber, I'm here for it.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think it could, I think it could be a match at the Rumble. If we have Chad Gable versus Braun Breaker at the Rumble for the IC, I think that would be a decent match too.
yeah. I almost think
Yeah.
you. What are they going to do at the Wyatt Six though?
I don't know.
Are they
That's got
going to
to
have any
solve itself
gold?
somehow. Ooh.
Yeah.
Well,
Should
is
they be
Braun
going for
babyface right
belts?
now? Is Braun babyface or heel, or is he in between?
How could he be
It seems like
babyface? I guess he's babyface, but it's like with Swerve Strickland where you kill everyone and then you're like people cheer for you because you're badass and I guess you're a
yeah.
babyface. It's
Yeah.
not an earned babyface in
Hmm.
any way, shape, or form,
Yeah.
but I guess kind of. Yeah, it's gonna have to be a few months because otherwise it's too quick with Braun Breaker, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you need
But
to
no, I just want to throw
reward
that
him
to
for
you guys.
putting the Wyatts over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right, let us know what you guys think about Bronson Reed. The question still goes, are you a fan of him? Are you a fan of him now, especially after the last 2 weeks when he's been on a
I mean, tear.
tsunami tear?
Tsunami!
Someone is like, why didn't they just roll R-Truth and Miz outside of the ring
I
to
like that they
somebody's?
rolled him to the other corner and then he went to
Yeah.
that corner. I died. I died when he did that. I
He's like,
actually
well, I
like
guess
this
I'll just go
one
over here.
better because he kind of faked him out and he's like, oh, well, you moved him over away from the corner. I'm not an idiot. I'll just
To another
walk over to
corner.
this one. Yeah. I
And
wanted him
then
to do it
he
to
did
Adam
like 2
Pierce.
miles an hour. He went like 2 miles an hour, and it was like the slowest tsunami ever. And like you could have saved our juice. You
Yeah, he
could
could
have
have just
rolled out of
rolled
the
him
way by the
out.
time he got over there, but
Yeah,
you didn't.
pull his
They
leg
also
out.
could have died trying to save our truth though, so they're gonna cut their losses. I ain't trying to roll our truth out of there. If I see that cannonball going through the air, I'm gonna move out of the
But you
way.
had like another like 10 minutes before he got to
Nah,
the
nah,
other
nah.
side, though.
They were frozen in fear, man. You don't understand fight or flight.
Oh man. All right, wait, what do you got for the Raw review?
I gotta go with the promo train with Gunther and Randy leading to Drew and Punk coming involved. Gunther, every time he finds a way to be the biggest a-hole ever.
Mhm.
He's so good at just being a dick, and he's so good. I just I'm he every time he finds a way to be an asshole, and
Mm,
he does it in such a good way because you want to root for him because he's so cool and he's so good. And I
Yeah.
don't really like Randy very much, but even I got annoyed during the promo when he's talking about uh Randy's whole family being screw ups and stuff. So he's doing a great job. And then we had the Punk Drew thing where I sent this in the group text. Looked like Punk was like in a deleted scene from Roots going crazy with the whipping. When he was
Jamaican
swinging it
style.
around like a lasso and stuff, it's like, all right, I know we're in Texas, but like, let's calm down, dude. This is a little bit much. But it looks like it's going to be a strap match now.
Mm,
And uh, I feel like this is the best option, especially with how apparently brittle Punk is, because this is the most gruesome type of match you could have while also being very safe. Um, because, and I had sent this in the group chat, and I doubt you guys had time to watch it because we were all working. But Danielson and Ricky Starks had a strap match, I believe it was last year. And Danielson was still not recovered all the way from his broken arm and did not do a single move with that arm the whole time. And I did not notice the match. I had it as one of my 5-star matches of the year. It was one of the best matches of the year. And Danielson did
mm,
not throw a strike with the broken arm the whole time.
Mhm. Mhm.
But you were able to craft a match in a way where you were protecting the guy, but you're also performing all these wounds and hurting them significantly in a way that looks really gruesome, but it's not going to have any lasting damage.
mm.
So I think it's the best thing they could do for Punk. And it's going to
Mhm.
make it look more intense instead of. I didn't like that last match very much with the
Yeah.
wristband, and it looks like they're going away from the bracelet now too. I think Punk realized he looked like a jabroni, and no one liked that he was fighting over a 5-cent bracelet. But yeah, I feel like they pivoted, and I like this path that they're going towards because this is blood feud kind of stuff. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm all here for it. But what do you guys think?
Um, just overall, man, like seems like to me it gets better promo wise
Hmm.
each when he comes out. Like I wasn't so familiar with his promo work like that, and I feel like he turned it up a notch, really. Like um, he was always arrogant. It was always about the ring being sacred or whatnot. Even talking about when he was going against the New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston and calling them clowns and stuff like that. So we already had like that part of Gunther. And then now he seems to just evolve it even more, like calling Damien Priest street trash,
Hmm.
And now we go to Randy Orton talking about all his family, his grandfather, his dad, Randy Orton himself, calling them screw ups and stuff like that. Like he does it in an arrogant way, but I don't hate him for it. Like he still does it, like it's still so sophisticated that it isn't. He's a jerk, but I still like it, if it makes sense. Like it's not like, yo, Randy, your grandfather died and he was smoking crack and all this. It is nothing like so observed on
It's
the
not like
surface that
MJF. It's much
yes,
more nuanced, but it's
yeah. But even MJF is still good though. I still like that too
yeah.
though. It's different layers and different parts of the spectrum that I like about it. So and like you say, man, like it's hard to really hate Gunther. Like he doesn't have bad matches.
Mm-mm.
How
Mhm.
can you just like a dude that comes out each week and have a great when he comes out and have a great match. He puts on every time he comes out.
Mhm.
And so just based off that, it's hard to even hate him as a heel because you get your money worth when Gunther comes out. You're gonna get a good match or a great match. You're not gonna get like, oh man, like Gunther laid an A tonight. Like, nah, like it's gonna be whoever he goes against, it's gonna be a solid match.
Mhm.
And then like you say, then we transition into that from Gunther and Randy Orton to Punk and Drew McIntyre. and we still got a continuation from SummerSlam, and I like that still too. And for me, I totally understand everything with the strap match and being protective and safe, and especially with Punk probably being brutal and whatnot. To me, but the idea, just I guess, been ingrained in me for just so many years of what Hell in the Cell signified. You know, like,
Mhm.
yo, this is so much chaos. These dudes hate each other so much. We got to put you guys in the Hell in the Cell. You know, and so that's why when I said like, yo, I could see it. That's why I wanted it to be like that, just because the imagery and what I felt like the match built up to was Hell in a Cell caliber, you know. But
Mhm.
when you watch it in Hell in a Cell, sometimes it's hard to even watch it because you have the cell in
Yeah.
the way, you
Yeah.
know. So now if you have a strap match, you got the two guys in the ring with a big old strap, you can see everything, the angles and stuff like that. So that's gonna be way better to do so than a Hell in a Cell than I think, you know. So I like that potential for a strap match. I hope they do it at Bad Blood. I hope they push it to that, because at the end I think it really fits that. Or we have a rubber
I,
match at Bad Blood.
I think it's Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood. I think they're
Okay.
doing Punk wins, and then the basically the rubber matches, because I'm pretty sure they are doing Hell in a Cell for Bad Blood.
Hmm.
I've heard that it's supposed to be multiple Hell in like Cell matches, or they're at least gonna have one. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's my take. What you think, Marlon?
Yeah, Gunther demands respect. It's crazy. It's just so commanding.
And your
Um,
gratitude.
what was that?
And your gratitude.
And your
Yeah.
gratitude, that's right. It just his overall ring presence, just from when his music hits to how he stands in the ring, to the backhanded compliments that he gives. He's not like an overt a-hole. It's like he's like a prestigious a-hole.
Very
Yeah.
And
subtle.
very subtle, but there's truth in it, right?
Yeah.
Or at least he thinks there's truth in it. And I think the way he's just all around probably arguably the best heel in the business right now. You know, MJF, but a totally different style. But like Gunther overall, plus his wrestling, it's unmatched at this point to me. And
Yeah.
I typically don't like wrestlers like that. I like wrestlers with um flamboyancy and showboatism and all that stuff. That's usually my type of wrestler that I'm drawn to. But I got nothing bad to say about Gunther. It's crazy. And then, I did love the crossover promo because Drew's got beef with what, Randy being there, right?
Yes.
Or is
Yeah.
like stepping out. I
He's
love this
right too.
crossover. Yeah,
He's right too.
yeah,
I like the fact that Adam Pierce doesn't acknowledge that Punk came in a referee shirt and interfered in a match. And
yeah,
I don't it like he's so justified in hating Pierce. Like I
yeah.
want Pierce to
Yeah.
get why is Pierce not got beaten up yet?
Mm,
That was another question I was gonna ask too. Who would be the
mm.
first person to get in a actual physical altercation? Adam Pierce or Nick Aldis?
I don't think Nick Aldis is getting his ass beat, but Adam Pierce should get his
I think
ass.
Adam
He should get
Pierce.
tsunami.
I think there's more evidence stacked against Adam Pierce for anything.
He
So
does like he's not rational I feel like Aldis, I could see the bloodline people doing
Yeah.
attacking him, but that's the only people because he actually treats them the way they should be treated.
Yeah.
But the rest of I feel like he's pretty rational in his decisions, but Adam
Chelsea
Pierce just
Green.
acts yeah, Adam Pierce just acts like people are like bitching to him the whole time and
He's
oh
just
I
that.
gotta hear the oh I
I
gotta
need a
hear this
drink.
again.
I need a
Yeah, I need
drink.
a drink just and usually the people are justified in being annoyed with him.
Yeah,
So yeah. But you need an idiot character like him, I guess. So I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, and I think the saga continues with CM Punk and Drew. I'm interested in the strap match. Sure, let's do it. Let's add more steps to it because the last one, it was whatever, the last match between them. I'm glad they're moving away from the bracelet
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
and
would have preferred
moving more
Dog
towards.
Collar to be honest, but they weren't
Yeah,
going to do that since Punk has literally probably the best singles dog collar match ever already
Hmm.
in his Rolodex, so he doesn't probably want to go back to that.
Right. Right. Yeah, no, it'll be good. All right, let us know what y'all think about Gunther and Randy promo crossing over into the Drew interference, and then CM Punk suddenly being there. How long is this feud going to go on, and what kind of match would you like to see between those two, between Punk and Drew? That's a
Barbed
wrap on our
wire,
Raw review. Barbed wire.
barbed wire exploding death match. That's what I want.
um, yeah, let's move on to the 3 count. So 3 of the pressing topics that we have with wrestling currently. Would anybody like to start this one off?
Yeah, I'll start off with. I'm gonna try to keep mine short. I'm going Cody Rhodes, man. Uh, I try to give him some time. It's been some time. I felt he had enough time, and for me, he's just not really holding my interest as WWE Undisputed Champion. Uh, I mean, he had the back and forth with AJ Styles. I feel like it could have been bigger. They could have went into it a little bit more. They could have built it up better than that. They didn't really do so. They jump into the bloodline thing with him and Solo, and it's like
Mm,
I didn't want that really, and I
no
know
one
this is
did.
just a step.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it was a stepping stone to get Solo to Roman, which I feel like they could have pushed that on a little bit further.
Yeah.
I think what everybody really wanted, well, at least what I wanted was um Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. And it seems like I don't know when we're gonna get that because now Orton's doing the thing with Gunther, and it's like Cody Rhodes is just boring, man. He's Captain America, he's Cyclops, he's Scott Summers. That's who it is on SmackDown. And for me, that's just not my character to who I want, especially after seeing Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't want to see anyone boring like that. So what do you got? How do you guys feel about Cody Rhodes right now? Is it time for a change?
Uh, I'll go first. So I'd rather see him versus KO than against Randy personally, just because I like
Mm,
KO a lot better than Randy. So I'm kind of cool with this match. I think a lot of it's the roster that he's on.
mhm.
That
Yeah.
roster is for heels, unless you're
Yeah.
gonna have him go against Jacob Fatu, who is worthy to go against him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AJ, if going into the AJ matches, would we have thought those would have actually been good? No. He
No.
had not had a good match in like 4 years. So the
Hmm.
fact that he actually had, especially that first one, was a really good match, I thought. I was I thought he got more than he should have out of AJ. And that heel
Mm.
turn with that full heel turn with AJ where he acted like he was retired. I don't know. I thought that was a pretty cool moment. And his mom telling him to bash his head in with stairs. I liked that too. But I who else has he gone against? That's basically it, right? It's AJ
And Solo.
and
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah.
So I
No, he had the match against Logan Paul.
That's right.
Um,
That's right.
yeah, he had the
No title
match.
on the line. Hmm.
Yeah. Um,
his title on the line, not Logan's.
Yep.
yeah. I
I
mean, he had
forgot
the
about
first
that.
the
That's
match
not a good
against
match for him.
Carmelo Hayes, the one
Hmm.
match against Carmelo
Okay,
Hayes.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's
I
like,
mean, these are not.
yeah,
Look at the roster on Raw because
yeah.
AJ Styles, how he wrestled is worthy, but on Raw, even if he could get hurt, CM Punk better
Hmm.
option than anyone other than Jacob Fatu or Roman Reigns, but they're not having him go against those guys. You
Drew.
got Gunther, Drew,
Hmm.
Yeah.
Priest.
Priest, Bronson Reed,
Hmm.
um, Braun Breaker,
Yep.
Ilya Dragunov. Like, think of all it's so
Yeah.
Finn Balor. Finn
Hmm.
Balor's better than anyone other than AJ. I think that he's gone
Yep.
against or will go against. Because I'm not as high on Logan Paul as everyone else is. I've watched Hangman Page wrestle, and he's a poor man's Hangman Page. He watches
Hmm.
Hangman Page wrestle, and then does some of his moves, and people are like, "Oh my god!" and I just watch a Hangman Page match. You'll see it, all of it done way better. He's good. It's just I don't think
Yeah.
he's that great. He needs someone good in there to lead him around. But I just think it's that roster on SmackDown that
Mhm.
is. You need him to
Yeah.
go against Jacob Fatu
Yep.
or The Rock. Because,
Mhm.
I mean, what else is. I can't
Pangalua.
think it.
Bangaloa.
uh, you could Andrade if he goes heel.
Yeah.
I think it would be, but even that's kind of a little bit. No, that would be a good match. That would be
What
a
about
sick match.
Carmelo?
I mean, he had it.
He
He had it
already
against
had it.
Carmelo.
It would be that's the worst match Carmelo's had like in a year, but because he almost broke Cody's neck or something. But I, Melo's been way better since. I'm fine with that, but again, those are everyone I mentioned
Yeah.
is significantly a better or more exciting match or more
From the Raw
enticing
roster.
match from the Raw roster.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I would even say he'd have a cooler match with JD McDonough than probably even Carmelo.
Hmm.
JD will
Possibly,
take
yeah.
insane bumps, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel like the roster is not even just for Cody, but amongst the SmackDown crew, it's like wearing thin, you know? It's like what else could happen here unless they start bringing people over, bringing people up. But Cody's run for me has also been whether if it was KO or Randy, like when he made that announcement, he's like, "I want to fight you, Kevin Owens." I was just like, "Oh, sure, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a good match." You know,
I was a bit annoyed.
yeah, I was a bit deflated. I was like, "Why?" You know, like, but then again, the AJ matches were pretty good. Were beyond our expectations, and he definitely got more out of that than we expected. But
And
uh,
Solo.
and
Let's be
Solo,
real. You
yeah,
thought that was gonna be terrible.
That
you
was a
thought
lot better than I thought,
me
honestly.
too,
So that
me
was
too.
cool.
Um, yeah, it's just weird. I don't know who else could step up to Cody. That would be main event PLE
Yeah.
type material.
I think they're bringing someone over from Raw to do it since they've been having this Randy thing, and they keep seeing they're showing him talk on the phone and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think Randy is turning on
KO.
uh or well Cody as soon
Mhm.
as Randy loses to Gunther.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's probably a bad blood.
So that's next. That's after KO, you think?
I would say yes, he has Randy Orton
Okay.
next. And they'll heat it up for a month and maybe do 2 matches.
Okay. Okay.
Still
Interesting.
not super exciting.
No.
I like that the idea of Cody versus Orton more just because of history and because I'm a fan of story. So we know
Yeah.
that they have
Right.
legacy,
Yeah.
just all that from the past or whatever. So I like that, and that's what I've been waiting for them to tap into that. And that's what I think was missing from Cody Rhodes is something actual like storyline. You know, you he's having matches with guys, and they're just I wish they would have went more into the Bullet Club stuff with him and AJ Styles. You know,
Mhm.
they referenced it
Yeah.
a little bit, they backlash and stuff like that, but they never really got into it. You
Yeah.
know, and really broke
Did
it down. So
Did you notice that Randy looked at Cody's belt at one point and
Yeah.
stared at it?
yeah,
Yeah. There
couple
were a
times.
couple of
Yeah,
times. Yeah.
I know, I'm
yeah,
kidding. It's like the least subtle thing ever. He's like, in case
That's
you didn't
why
know, he wants that belt, guys.
I honestly thought that would have been the next opponent for Cody. I thought they were
yeah.
going to go right into the Randy
Yeah.
situation. They would have
Yeah.
started becoming more pressing. But
Have Gunther mop him up and then we'll move on
seriously.
with our lives.
All right,
Who
let
was
us know what you guys think about Cody Rhodes. Is he a champion? Is he meeting expectations as a champion? Uh, big Pierre's about to give him the solo thumb. Um, but
See
the
him
shocker.
taping his
So,
thumb.
um, who's next for Cody Rhodes after KO? Like, is it Randy? Is it somebody else that we're not thinking of right now? Let us know in the comments. All right, I'll go with mine right now. I want to talk about the Bloodline 2.0 and the return of Roman Reigns. Just after seeing what I saw at this past SmackDown with Roman going on a rampage against the Bloodline 2.0 minus Jacob Fatu. I'm thinking out loud here, but I feel like they don't have Jacob Fatu there. One, because he was kayfabe injured at SummerSlam, but I also think in addition to that, he may also be injured. Um, and I think they're taking him out of the picture right now to continue to prop up Solo because, as was the primary concern with Jacob Fatu, is that he would take away any of Solo's shine. Uh, I
What shine?
feel that yeah, well, whatever they're trying to put shine, they were trying to put on him, right? I know what you're saying though, and I feel like the crowd would pop even more at this point if Roman and Jacob Fatu went face to face, right, in a stare down versus Solo versus Roman. Unless they could pump in some type of source material that we had overlooked or had forgotten between Roman and Solo. I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, what do you? He's
I don't
actually like
know.
Solo's godfather or something. You
Yeah.
see him in
Well,
his gloves
somebody
baptizing Solo.
maybe, but somebody was saying how whenever like Roman was like yelling and like reprimanding the Usos, like whenever like Solo would come around, like Roman wouldn't say or do nothing. He would kind of just be like silent around Solo. I don't
Or like
know.
a couple of times, like he bumped Solo, and
Yeah.
he kind of like say like, "Oh, my bad,"
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff like
So,
that.
so if they like pump that type of uh feud or material into this, maybe, but I feel like they're withholding Jacob Fatu, even though he may be really injured, to get this hype up between Solo and Roman, which I'm not crazy about. But I don't know what else they would do with Roman at this point. So, what do you guys think about Bloodline 2.0 and everybody's place right now, everybody's role?
I'll go real quick. So it felt like it took a minute to really build them up. I feel like they got rid of Paul Heyman too soon. They should use Paul Heyman a little bit more because he's the best talker that they could have. He could have saved Solo from talking. For a extended period of time. Until we get to this point to where Solo's coming out looking like the weekend one week, like he's the Tuesday, and with Bray Wyatt gloves on, coming out with a Pico on, not wearing it fully, just over the shoulders, like he's Don Corleone or something like that. And so like I was surprised what Solo did at SummerSlam. I didn't expect him to win, but I was very surprised that they actually let him kind of like wrestle, and actually
Mm-hmm.
do some stuff. And I'm like, oh man, all right, Solo got some moves, some more moves that I haven't seen him do on the main roster.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, that's cool. But like I say, when he comes up against Roman Reigns, he couldn't even really go toe to toe against Cody Rhodes.
Right.
So the order Roman Reigns already has that he had prior to WrestleMania, and then what he's been building up in his absence since WrestleMania. So Dakota can't compare to that.
Right.
Like he's struggling to this kind of find himself or
Yeah.
whatever character that he's trying to portray. Like I don't think he even knows who he's trying to portray. He's looking for something, and
Yeah.
that's why it doesn't feel authentic. And granted, like he doesn't have the same credentials or the same quality that Roman Reigns has as far as like on the microphone or whatever, and just aura in general. But like I say, we think that it might be kayfabe with Jacob Fatu being injured, or that he's possibly really injured, or
Mm-hmm.
another theory that I actually heard that he is a double agent, that he actually is with Roman Reigns, and so
Mm-hmm.
that's why we didn't get to see that interaction between Roman and Jacob at
Oh
SummerSlam.
yeah.
That was the cause of the injury, you know. And so there's a lot of different theories or whatever because I still know they have Hikuleo. Is it? I think that's his name. He
Yeah,
signed too.
Hikuleo.
So it's like
That dude's huge.
someone also has to still come and be on the original bloodline side.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Usos, we got Roman. We're assuming that Sami Zayn's gonna probably be over there, as well.
Cody Rhodes.
And maybe. you know, just gonna turn on Roman, like I said. But man, I'm not ready for Solo versus Roman, but I know it's gonna happen because we gotta get
Oh
to that point.
god.
We gotta get to the Bloodline Civil War, Bloodline versus Bloodline. So
I
I know that's what's
guess.
coming.
I guess we need it.
Also,
What,
man,
Randy versus Solo or Randy versus Roman?
I don't want either of those. I don't
Yeah,
want how many solo
yeah.
matches do we need? I don't I
what you got, Wade, man?
so I'm gonna preface this. I'm gonna start off by saying something nice about Solo. I think he might be better on the mic at this point in his career than Roman was at this point at this early on in his career. So
Okay.
I like he is still young. I think I've seen major improvement from him.
Hmm.
And I do think he like people say that he has no aura. I disagree with that. I think he does have aura. I think he is playing the character that he's supposed to play very well.
Yeah.
That being said, his matches are boring to me. And for the main storyline, he shouldn't be a main character in it, in my opinion.
Mhm.
So I man, Jacob Fatu is out. Ooh, like for real, that's not good for the story because
Right.
the only thing that really made me excited, you could have 30 more Samoans come in, but none of them are Jacob Fatu, and have
Yeah,
he jumps off the screen. He is the most
yeah.
important person in this other than The Rock and Roman Reigns, in my
Mhm.
opinion. The rest of the people are just side characters that
Minions.
minions
Yeah.
that add you mean they can add a little spice to it, some more
Mhm.
than others, like Tonga
Man, the
Loa
quick
adds a lot of spice, maybe too much spice, but he adds something to it. So but I'm not really into, I don't know if you watched the pod from last week. I'm not into, I think this Roman thing is so, everyone's so into it. I don't think it's been that good since he's come back. Like he did one Superman punch in a spear at SummerSlam, and people are acting like he did a gauntlet match against freaking Undertaker, freaking John Cena, doing all this stuff. He's Superman punching speared Solo.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not really that impressive to me. And then gave Cody a head nod, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
came out and beat up some Doof Magoos again this week. Jacob Fatu
It,
wasn't there.
real quick, is it just me? The Tongas remind you of the X-Men movies from X-Men 2000s? The way they're dressed. Instead
Oh,
of just
yeah, a little
all
bit.
black, they have like
Yeah.
red and black. Those are the same exact suits as
Yeah,
the X-Men used to have.
they do kind of look like that. Yeah, I wasn't in I didn't I was not into his thing on SmackDown.
Hmm.
Really, it was like it was cool he came back, but I wanted him to do a promo or something.
Yeah. Same.
Or I guess he did, what did he use a chair a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
A
was
lot of
kind of
it.
cool, I guess. Yeah, he used a chair. Yeah, I mean, I guess that was better. I just I want to see some blood or something.
Same.
Like, let's get medieval on this. So,
Yeah.
Hmm.
if you're not going to have Jacob Fatu in this at all, or at least for a few months because of injury, you need to dial this up in a crazy
Hmm.
way real quick, because otherwise it's just going to be, you got, which I'm going to get into next, you got the Judgment Day stuff over on Raw, and it's a million times more interesting than this Bloodline stuff.
Hmm.
And you don't have Roman Reigns involved in that at
Right.
all.
There's so many levels
So
to it.
yeah, there's just
Hmm.
every character in the Judgment Day story has like a unique thing that
Hmm.
you either like them or hate them for. Whereas
Yeah.
in this, I don't feel much towards Solo. Do you? I don't think anyone.
Hmm.
He's just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tama Tonga, I feel nothing towards. I think he could
Same.
wrestle okay matches. Tonga Loa, look, I think he's funny, but I don't think it's on purpose.
Hmm.
And Jacob Fatu's badass, but he's not in it. And then
Yeah.
Roman, he hasn't given me much to really get into,
Yeah.
to be honest. He just like kicks some ass of some dudes he probably shouldn't even need to use a chair on, to be
Mhm.
Yeah.
honest. So I'm not that into it. I don't get everyone's on. You mean
You need some blood. You need some chaos.
I need
You
some
need
chaos. I need some blood. I need someone like some attacks backstage.
Mhm.
We need something wild.
We
Put
need to
him on
see
a
Roman.
forklift. Take him through a wall like Jericho did to Samoa Joe. I don't know. Do something.
Yeah.
But
No.
you got these title belts, so they didn't even. Did they even use those on Roman at all? I don't
SmackDown?
think so.
No.
No.
Did they even
No.
have him on? They did, right?
They carried them down there, but they wasn't wearing them. No. Nah.
That's like
Okay.
in wrestling. That's one of the best weapons you can use. In
Yeah.
real life, it's a terrible weapon, but in wrestling,
Yeah.
it's one of the best weapons available. That's higher than a chair almost. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like it. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I need once Roman talks, I'm gonna probably be into it. But I've gone 2 things in a row without Roman speaking,
Mhm.
and I want to see Roman. I want to hear Roman speak.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
Is
getting
he
a little.
is he slated to be here on Friday?
Yes.
Okay.
Only reason I'd watch SmackDown, to be honest,
Right.
because he's supposed to be back.
You don't want another
Yeah.
tag team gauntlet or a tag team tournament?
Is there another one?
They're doing like the qualifying matches for the tag team titles. Yes.
I feel like that's what SmackDown has been like the last like 3-4 weeks. It's just been
Yeah.
tag team contention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pretty Deadly lost. That was the only team I care about.
Yeah, seriously. Gosh.
You want that musical?
I want the
That's right.
musical.
That's right.
I want them to win the tag belts, and I want me and Marlon to dress up as Pretty Deadly at
That's
WrestleMania
right.
one of the nights.
Hey, Pierre already has the hair, man. So that's one less step between you and me. So Pierre needs to do it. Put the crop on. And
I've been researching how to make those shirts, by the way. I was sending it to one of this is gonna sound bad. I don't care. One of my like gay friends, I was like, hey, do you know like where you can get these shirts? He's like, I think they cut them or something. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know if there was a store or something. I don't know. I didn't think it was like he wasn't offended, so I don't think it was that bad of a question to ask. So
Oh man.
oh man.
we lost
all
a
right.
subscriber. Sorry.
Let us know what y'all think about Bloodline 2.0. Is it holding up? Where's Jacob Fatu? And what will come of this whole thing with Roman Reigns' return? Yeah, it'll be interesting once the Usos and anybody else starts getting involved.
Yeah.
But all right. Wade, what's your 3 count for this week?
Oh, the A storyline of WWE, aka Judgment Day, aka Street Trash, apparently is possibly a new name for the Judgment Day crew, the Bad Apples, with Carlito, backstabbing Balor. You got Finn and Rhea, Dom, and then of course JD McDonough, the most important person on and he's finally getting a shirt apparently. So
It's about time.
yeah, I know. He should. I felt bad for him because you get money on the merch, and he would have been making bank from people buying. I bought at least like 3 Judgment Day shirts. I bought every R-Truth one. Every R-Truth one I bought as soon as it came out. So yeah, I just think this storyline's way better. We're getting a sick mixed tag match with
Oh yeah.
Rhea.
Terror Twin.
Yeah, Terror Twins, and then Rhea and Liv. And
Liv.
I think Dom is getting riptided for sure in that match. There's a 100% chance he gets rocked by Rhea, which gets us even closer to the Dominic Mysterio versus Rhea Ripley match. Everyone wants this match. Like, we could have another match with her and Liv, that's fine. But everyone wants Rhea versus Dom. I think he attacked Priest and Rhea at one point,
Yeah,
and I think I don't know why they're that scared to do it. Like Rhea's gonna win, so just have them do the match. So I don't get why they're that scared to do that match. So, but I don't know. I'm into this storyline. It's made rock stars out of Priest and Rhea.
yeah,
Even the Doof Magoos in the Judgment Day, all of them have been elevated
yeah,
as well, I think. Finn's always kind of a star
yeah,
around, like someone you,
yeah.
you could heat him up at any point to wrestle someone for any belt. And he's a relevant challenger. I think he's doing a good job in this kind of evil role. And man, Dom and Liv are super annoying together in the best way
So good.
possible. It
So good.
it bothers me
Yeah.
so much with both of them.
Yeah.
Just they're so annoying.
Now Liv is
And
like smacking gum too. She's chewing gum when she's
oh
talking like
yeah.
Dom. I love that.
Yeah, so I'm way more into this story than the bloodline thing. I honestly, because of how big and part of it is Cody's not exciting me that much either, even though I'm giving him a break. I half the time I don't even watch SmackDown live. I just
Mhm.
rewatch it later
Scroll
because I'm
through.
not. But Raw, that's must see TV for me. I make sure I am watching
Mhm.
that. I may be even 30 minutes behind, but I have it recording, so eventually I keep up. But it's because of the Judgment Day is the
Mhm.
main storyline in that. And I see that as the main storyline in WWE, the money storyline.
No, definitely. No, I didn't want to cut you off. You there?
I'm done, yeah.
Yeah, no. No, man. The Judgment Day storyline, like you say, everyone's been elevated. Um, Carlito seemed to be lost on with LWO. Now he's over here, was trying to get in with Judgment Day. Now he actually seems to be in the Judgment Day. Got a T-shirt with the apple on it, which seems cool, and I might want to get that. You know, I was always looking forward to just seeing Carlito just on screen. You know,
Yeah.
and I felt like I never really wanted to see that in a long time. You know, like I don't even care that much personally.
Certainly.
Just him being on screen, it's just been great. And then like even to get more familiar with JD McDonough's like work. You know,
Mhm.
like he can go. He's a dude that can actually go in the ring. Like the matches that he's had with Ricochet in the past, phenomenal matches. You know, when they were saying like they was wrestling for like 30 minutes, opening the show. You
Mhm.
know, um, he's a good seller when it comes to in ring ability and whatnot. So it's great to see that him get elevated even more. Finn is Finn, like you say, he's a stud no matter what. Um, you can put him with anybody. He's gonna help elevate them or shine himself. You know,
Mhm.
and he's easy to get going, get popping. And Dom, you've already hated Dom already. You hate him even more. You know,
Mhm.
now with this, what we kind of already was gonna assume is gonna happen anyway. Liv elevated her character. Her character work
Mhm.
has been phenomenal with this the whole storyline. You know, there's no complaints about that. Even with just out the matches, you know, I think what she's had like if you want to count the match with Becky Lynch,
Mhm.
Selena Vega, and now the one match with Rhea Ripley. I'm cool with her not wrestling right now. You know,
Yeah.
like just her character work has been great on story. And then you get to Damian Priest, man. Like, well, I get them last. We get the Rhea Ripley, who was already mommy, always on. She was on top already beforehand. She's bigger now already. Um, you want to see her even more come out even more when she comes out, storming down to the ring, ready to just wreck shop, you know. And then Damian Priest, man, like coming into WrestleMania, they built him up. And it was like, oh man, they built him up. I thought there might have been a possibility he could still win at WrestleMania and then possibly lose at Bash to Berlin. And for him to come out of WrestleMania and still be hot, you know, and it seemed to be hotter after WrestleMania then him going into
Mhm.
WrestleMania, which is great to see
Mhm.
for him. So it's like I felt like he hasn't had that momentum in a very, very long time. Probably since the first time he came to the main roster, and he's not even on the same level when he first came to the main roster. So he's elevated himself too, as well with this whole storyline. So I think the Judgment Day storyline has done what it was supposed to do for everyone involved in the storyline to where there's levels to it. Some people are higher than each other, but everyone who's
Mhm.
entered the storyline has elevated themselves, which is great to see.
Except for
Yeah, I
Edge.
agree. Except Oh, yeah, when you think about it, the storyline's been the Judgment Day's been running for a while now,
Yeah.
and from when they initiated Doms to turning on Edge, and I thought, man, this has been one of the greatest long-term factions. Um, I agree with everything you guys said, Pierre. But I think that there would be an element eventually. I don't know when this is going to happen. I think there would be an element that would just make everything pop more for the crowd, not necessarily for us. But because it's a numbers game right now and Judgment Day has the advantage, I can see Jey Uso helping Rhea um, and Damian Priest out just because they've had those connections backstage and the flirting with Jay and Rhea and all the
Oh, I
digital
forgot
exclusive
about
type
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to even out numbers, I could see Jay coming on board, and maybe now that Sammy is done with Braun Breaker, he
Yeah.
helping out Jay.
They're
Just
getting those
to
tag belts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So that might be the next rivalry, between the Judgment Day and Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. So
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool because that'd be like pop on top of pop on top of pop, and that'd be pretty sweet. So, but I
Yeet,
agree with you guys.
but yeet.
Yeah,
It's
Rhea Bloody Yeatley Ripley. I don't know.
a
So
work in progress. It's a work in progress.
work in progress for sure.
We're not cutting that
But I would
out.
think. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty dope. Anyway, let us know what you guys think about the current Judgment Day storyline. I feel like this is going to be an ongoing subject just because it is really carrying the
Mm.
storylines of WWE as far as long-term story and just being on so many different levels. Um, by the way, I did listen to the Dom interview with Logan Paul and Impulsive, and it talks about how his wife handles these things. Man, she's MVP.
Oh, is there a new
Yep.
MVP.
interview?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Just don't listen to it on Apple Podcasts because it's edited so terribly. When like a podcast repeat
Oh,
sections that you just heard, it
yeah.
does that probably like 50 times. But
Oh no. It's on
yeah,
YouTube too,
I think
probably.
so. Yeah,
Okay.
it should be. But if it's not now, then it will eventually will be. But great interview regarding Dom's like personal life and stuff. So
That's cool.
um,
Does it
all
talk
right, let us
about
know what
Logan
y'all think.
Paul stealing the Olympic stuff or does he not
No,
talk about that? Oh, okay.
no, no.
All right, fair enough.
Which anyway. All right, guys, let's get into that was our 3 count for this week. Let's get into the no hate, just debate. Who's got the topic for today?
I had a topic for today for you guys.
All right, let's
So
go.
it's been a minute since we've been able to do one. Um, so I have one I've been thinking about for a while now. Between two tag teams. Need you guys to pick a number first, and then I'll let you guys know what the topic is. Between 1 to 10.
Let's see. I'll go with 3.
4. Oh
Ron has 3.
man. I was like, man, I got a good shot. Marlon was dumb and picked 3. I got so many extra numbers.
So the topic for this week's no hate, just debate is should the Street Profits break up or should DIY break up?
Yeah, can we just Thomas and I both agree and say both? Anyway.
Who should break up first or who should break up more?
Okay.
Pick a team.
All right. I'll go with Profits should break up.
Okay.
So that's with DIY. All right, let me
It's your
get this.
hand on your screen, right? Not something else, Pierre?
You're not an Olympian pole vaulter at all, are you?
There's something big and veiny on your screen.
All right, you ready, Marlon?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, go ahead, go.
Man,
Start now.
I've been saying this for a long time. I just see so much star power with Montez Ford. Um, I feel like Dawkins. I'm not trying to diss anything about Dawkins, but I feel like
Mm.
Montez Ford needs to shoot to the stars as far as being a solo person. He's got the charisma, he's got the talent, he's got the aura. He's just got star power, and I feel like they need to break up before DIY does because DIY can't. They had them separate for a while, and it wasn't working. And the whole, even though the pops weren't as great as they were back then compared to now, like nobody was believing in Johnny Gargano or Tommaso Ciampa as singles people. But if Montez Ford can shine as a single star, I believe Angelo Dawkins can also find his footing too. He could find his place because he is also talented. I used to cap on him all the time, but just Wade actually helped me realize like he is a good asset for that team. So I feel that the Street Profits need to break up first because
All right,
they could both shine as singles.
all right, there you go. That's it right there.
That's the only argument that I have in me. So if it goes round two, I'm probably done. Anyway.
Ready, Wade?
Yeah.
All right, go.
Yeah, it's DIY that needs to break up. The reason being, we've already seen what happens when DIY breaks up. Uh, if those in the know that watched NXT Black and Gold brand, that was the main best storyline on NXT for a long time. You had them I believe headlining stadium shows. Those two guys. I don't see uh the Street Profits going against each other headlining a PLE ever, to be honest. So I think both DIY guys um they're good enough at wrestling that they can challenge for a title at any point. But the story and history between them, the regular people who don't watch NXT don't know the chemistry that these guys have when they're going against each other. And that's what we have to look forward to. Because the point of breaking them up, the best part of the breakup is seeing the guys fight
Time.
each other.
Cool, cool. Marlon, you want a rebuttal or
Yeah,
you
let's
think
go.
you good? You want a rebuttal?
He's so excited to rebuttal. He's like, yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna give you 30 seconds.
All right, thank you.
All right, go.
If Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford do end up fighting each other in a rivalry, I feel like that would elevate both of them even past that. Whereas I feel that if DIY fights each other, like there won't really be much after that for them on this roster or within their respective peers as well. Because I feel like amongst main roster that Angelo and Tez have that rapport and they have that chemistry with a lot of people and they can dig into a lot of storylines. I was gonna say Bobby Lashley, but he's not there anymore. But I think they could
Mm.
get all the smoke from other people separately, more than
Time.
Champa.
Cool, cool. You ready, Wade?
Yeah.
All right, go.
I actually feel like the Street Profits are better as combined as a team. I think yes, maybe um, you'll see Montez do well on his own, perhaps, but I think it would hurt Angelo Dawkins significantly. Whereas when you have DIY, I think both of these guys have shown when they were on NXT, if they are separate, they both can be successful and win belts. The reason why when they were separate it wasn't working before, they had no storylines. Now they're getting storylines. So, and I think they will be successful with the storylines, pushing this
Time,
rivalry through.
time. All right. I think I feel like both should split up. I'm
Yeah.
kind of over both of them right
Yeah,
now.
same here.
I feel like they both of them are in limbo,
Mhm.
and both teams are, and it's like, man, I don't necessarily know why. Maybe I was so kind of hyped for the tag team division, and now it seems to kind of like die back down again. So That's why I kind of feel like both of us should split up. But what do you guys think out there? Who should split up? Who should stay together? See DIY stay together? So the Street Profits stay together? So both teams split up. Let us know. Comment below. You know what the guys do, what to do.
Although I can see DIY splitting up first because there have been like times where like Champa has been like losing his cool and not like apologizing towards people, right? And like Gargano is like Mr. Goody Two Shoes, just trying to keep everybody together. So
Yeah.
I
You
could
haven't
see that
seen Johnny
happening.
Gargano stare at his hands yet. I can't believe I did this. I think
Yeah.
the issue for both teams, or the biggest issue. Sorry to cut you off there, Marlon.
No, you're good.
We had the Jacob Fatu situation. They won the tag belts, and we don't
Yeah.
know if he can even wrestle anymore. So if he's
Yeah.
hurt, you might as well just give the belts back to DIY and
Yeah.
let them kind of
Mhm.
scrap a bit with it. But that's
That's
kind of
true.
my issue is, okay, like we it's fine. Let Jacob Fatu shine in this tag division, but if he's hurt, you need to get him off Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga
Yeah.
like stat. We don't need to
Yeah.
waste those belts. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
true.
digress.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool, cool.
I'm trying to think of reasons why Tez would even turn against Dawkins because at this point there's no reason to do so. Like no seeds have been planted for that at all.
Probably have to do the
I don't
opposite
know.
way.
Oh yeah, Dawkins turning on Tez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
want Tez to be babyface.
Yeah, and then BFAB will go back. Actually, BFAB could probably end up with what's his name,
I freaking
Adonis
forgot.
and
I forgot she even
Adonis.
existed. Nah, he's
Yeah,
just hooking
me
up with
too.
he's just hooking up with hoes, so he doesn't need BFAB around.
Yeah, that's interesting. Interesting.
All right.
Didn't Adonis go back down to NXT for right
Yeah,
now?
he's
Oh
just
yeah,
hitting on girls down there.
that's right. They were carrying him out, and he like gave that wink to the camera.
Yeah, he like
That's
lost
right.
and then got carried out by two honeys.
Yeah. Then he like smiled at the camera. Got it.
Yeah.
I remember.
Cool, cool.
All right, cool. That's our show for this week. I'm like petting my dog right now. He's like sitting all over my feet.
Oh,
I don't know if he like heard something outside that he's scared, but
well,
that's our show for Tables, Ladders, and Bumps this week. Thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far, thank you for your support. Please leave a comment, any comment. Just type one letter in the comment.
maybe a
For
sentence,
us to,
but yeah.
maybe a sentence. You could comment on Pierre's car and his new studio inside his Tesla. He's also going to be recording some sick beats in there too, so stay tuned for that. So thanks again. If you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button and let us know. All right, I'm signing off. I'm Marlon, Wade, Pierre. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Adios.